I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, and welcome back into Pregaming. Welcome back from Christmas Eve, and we're back with a schedule that we can go and attack. I'm excited to be here with you guys. It's Thursday. That means we bring our guy, Mickey Mac Daddy, in and sharing his action as well for tonight's card. Don't adjust your sets. I am not dyed in pink. It's just a lighting incident right now with the screen that we're trying to adjust. So bear with me. We'll get it right for everybody. But that doesn't mean we can't get it right and make some money with this slate we have tonight. We got a small slate, but a goodie. We've got a big college bowl game, big one, between Bowling Green and Arkansas State. So we'll break that one down. We've got a pretty full NBA card. The day after Christmas has a big card lined up for us. I think we've got 4 plays for the NBA and a couple intersecting zeros. So stay tuned for those opportunities. And then, of course, Thursday night football. Got a side, got a parlay. Got the touchdown parlay for you guys as well. And full disclosure, I need the Saints to get skunked. I don't know if that's going to happen. Or I'm not Saints. I'm sorry. The Saints probably do get skunked tonight. Saints probably don't score any points tonight. That's probably a best bet. That's probably a lock of the century. No score by the Saints tonight. But as far as the Seahawks are concerned, what I really need is Smith-Njigba to get shut down. It's championship season in fantasy football, and I'm playing against this guy, and I know he's like the number 2 most targeted wide receiver in the NFL, but going to need him to get shut down. Hopefully they don't need him by the second half, and he doesn't get that end zone. Most bet touchdown, we don't want to be involved with those spots, but we're still going to have some fun nonetheless. So get ready, get set, 7:45. It's the Razor Sharp Picks Sports Money crew assembling to do what we do. Have some fun, have some cocktails, make some bets, make some money. Above all else, we'll be live betting the entire slate at 7:45 p.m. tonight. You're not going to want to miss out. What else are you doing? You already did the family stuff for Christmas. You already did the Christmas Eve family stuff. Check the box. Now get ready to get paying for those Christmas presents that you guys bought. Yeah, I excessively use the word Christmas because I like it and I believe in it. Now go, Toledo. Go, Toledo. Go. Ah, he was down. Stop it. You look stupid. You can see he was down, and then you're putting your hand over like it's a turnover on downs. You dummy. In case you can't tell, I'm on Toledo +7. Toledo +7. Also, for those interested, I am on Rutgers +7.5. Now, Rutgers just scored, so far so good. I have a nice little run going in college football. Every time I say that, it's like the fucking kiss of death. So I'm not going to say it, but I'm excited about the show tonight. You guys know the deal. We'll start off. We'll just do a quick recap. We'll jump in. There's not going to be a lot to go over here. We've got one football game, as I mentioned, a bunch of NBA, and then one Thursday nighter. So we should be in and out of here in a reasonable amount of time for you guys to go get yourselves refreshments, get these bets placed, and then get back here, and we can all make fun of the pink hue that is my setup and configuration right now. On a plus side, the Pimp Slap POD screen, the light, has never looked better than it does right now. You can see it. It's clear. I wonder what happens if I pop it up one more. What if we get crazy here? No. That's why we don't get crazy. That's why we don't get crazy here. We try to keep an even keel. Let's not go losing our composure. Toledo touchdown. If they miss this, I'd be happy. Miss this. They get the 2. They go for the win. Oh, no. I'm behind. I'm sorry. I'm behind. That's how far I'm behind. I see they just scored the touchdown, and I see they just scored the extra point. So somewhere in between there is the real time. And I'm behind. But let's go. Take the 7. Can't remember if it's now that they go for the automatic 2s. Man, I gave a parlay out there for you guys. I think it was Thursday. We missed by the hook on a nice 55 or 60 to 1-er. But it's okay. It's okay. We've come off a pretty solid Monday. Sadly, there was only the one game on Tuesday. Believe it or not, they went 4-0-1 on that Tuesday game. I don't know why I say believe it or not. It doesn't sound unbelievable. You've been rocking with us here as we get rolling. But let's talk about this. Let's recap. Let's see where we're at. And then let's push off and move forward. As a reminder, all my action that I shared with you guys is tracked on BetStamp, and you can find me at Mikey Money, M-I-K-E-Y, M-O-N-E-Y. Mikey Money over at BetStamp. You'll see the plays I put in there. Generally speaking, they're the things that I give up between the community tab, the shows that we do, and then any one-offs, any live bets or things that get placed in there. So I don't do a lot with the live betting because not everybody can. I mean, I do a lot with live betting. Let me take that back. Let me rephrase my statement there. But I don't want to go blow the record out there by putting down 4 or 5 live bets that cash when it's not fair that everybody doesn't get a chance to do it. So I try to be realistic with this thing. And realistic we were. We had a nice almost 6-unit day on Monday. We lost, I should say. The Phoenix Suns got busted up 117-90. But we did cash that. We went crazy in hockey. We went ham. We got Dallas in the under 6 at plus 204. Never hurts to catch a plus 2-1 spot there. We got the Sharks under 6. Actually, I avoided that one. That's the one I avoided because I screwed up with that Dallas spot. Excuse me. We got Dallas. I'm sorry. Jesus. What a start. We got Green Bay -8 in the under 50 in our NFL teaser. That cashes again. Sadly, the Bulls lost. They lost 112-91 to the Bucks. But Boos got his 2. He got his 2 threes. Over 1.5. He's good for 2 on the threes. And we'll catch that one. It was pricey, but we beat the line move. Beat the line move by 25 cents when it was all said and done. We cashed the Predators. I know a bunch of you guys cashed on that Predator spot with me, so congratulations. That was a nice plus 108 spot that I locked down. 5-2. The Timberwolves lost 3.5. Wasn't a great NBA day. The Sabres, they laughed. They said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm betting the Sabres." And they cashed for us a plus 136. 7-1. 7-1. I'd like to take credit for all 7 of those goals. Sadly, I can take credit for 0 of those goals, but I will take credit for the win, and I'll cash that plus 136. And then we got the Magic plus 10.5. Outright winners against the Celtics. We cashed that first period over in the Canadiens. It was a big Monday because we didn't have anything going on Tuesday and Wednesday, or limited Wednesday action. So added that Montreal Canadiens first period over 1.5. We lost the Panthers. That was the only game we lost in the NHL. We cashed Winnipeg 5-2 against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we cashed the under 6. Got a little sweaty. These were some afternoon plays. We cashed that Winnipeg, and we cashed the under 6 in the Devils game. So that's what we're coming in off of from a posted plays perspective. Now, I did share yesterday the Christmas card. I love that we had a Christmas card going around. Not your traditional Christmas card, but it was a Christmas card. Kind of split it. Lost the juice on the touchdown parlay. Did not cash the teaser with Houston plus 12.5. Man, I was texting some of the boys. I said, is it just as simple as Kansas City moneyline, Baltimore moneyline for your life savings? I mean, apparently it was because Houston did not show up. And then we got Kansas City was a play I gave out earlier in the day. The world was on Pittsburgh. And I remember talking to one of our boys, and I said, just because the data shows it doesn't mean, here's how you use a tool like Twitter. When you pop open Twitter and the entire universe is on Pittsburgh plus 3, you don't want to be there. I don't care if it moved to 1.5. You still don't want to be there. I don't think I saw anybody say Chiefs. And so that's a little bit of ways that we can try to leverage the technology to make more informed betting decisions. And you know the deal. Now is the time. Thank you guys all so much for dropping back in here. I know it's kind of a screwed up, clunky week here with the holiday being smack dab in the middle, and we'll fortunately look more to the same next week with New Year's. But we're going to get through it. We got money to make. We got bills to pay, and it starts right now. So if you guys haven't done so, this is the time to take the time to hit the thumbs up button. It helps us tremendously. It gives notification that they let people know we're here. We're doing this thing. We're showing up the day after Christmas. We're trying to give you guys a playable card to make great cash. And all we need you to do is close the comments, hit the thumbs up button, then pop the comments open, and we'll start the show. All right. You guys know the deal. Oh, no. Jay Main. Is he really? Is he really? Is he really? Jay Main, that's not what we want to see. All right, we'll have to scramble. We'll have to scramble on the fly. all my I can't find the notification on Boost, but I can see all my players are downgraded in fantasy football, so that's not a good spot to be either. But this is the right spot to be. Grab that pen and paper. Time to write down these best bets. The best in the business assemble right here. They're ready to share their action with you guys, and as am I. So let's get through this thing. Let's rock and roll. Let's put these bets down, and then let's get out of here and make some big money tonight. Thursday is connected to Friday. It's the bridge to the weekend. It's my favorite day of the week. And we get the dual live stream with the fellas. So off to work we go with that pen and paper down. You're going to want to write these plays and then, of course, share these plays in the chat. Our guy, Joe T, he's here. He's got no best bet today, but he's here. And he says, hope your Christmas was good. I hope your Christmas was good, Joe T. Hopefully the kids got everything they wanted and you kept it within the budget. That's the most important thing, right? Keeping it within the budget. Damon Waring's in the house. Appreciate him. J Dub says, any leans for the bowl games? Yeah, we got leans. We got plays. We got official plays. Fannin, he's the guy. He's the player of the day. And he's earned it. He's just short of the number one tight end in, receptions for college football history. Needs, I think, 11 tonight. I wish I could play player props because why wouldn't you hammer this dude? 100 receptions, 1,342 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Yeah, you would think you'd want to hammer this guy. All right, so this looks pretty good. If we can just Pitt can get in there and win this game, I'll take this Toledo cover and move on to game number 2. Shout out to Irish King David Wallace. Looks East Carolina plus 6.5. Joe Dubs in the house. J Dubs, the Seahawks double results. I got a couple ways I want to play that Seahawks game. David Wallace says, I like East Carolina plus 6.5. Bet MGM. Let's go. Chris Salas in the house. Nate's telling us no boost. That sucks. The play was going to be to parlay him with the Bulls on the 6.5 and then sprinkle him in the money line. But we'll still talk about it. We'll still talk about that game. Nicholas Handy's in the house. RDD 420. He's ready to go. You let bankrupt the bookies tonight. Let's do that. Thomas Maggio's in the house. He got ugly. He got ugly with the Hornets and the Blazers tonight. Hey, why not? It's the day after Christmas. Anything can happen. Ice Viking, appreciate you coming in. There's Jake Peasy. Hopefully he made that money with me and the Sabres on Monday. I'm sure he didn't. He does not like when I play the Sabres. Thomas Maggio says, nice Toledo. Let's go. Kansas State just scored a touchdown. Avery Johnson, go figure. Chris Hall, 2 in a row. Over and over time. Jay Peasy says, I live bet the Rutgers plus 10.5. Smart move. What can we live bet them at right now? We've been doing well with these live bets that we've tossed out here on the show. Some extras. Yeah, it's only 7.5 now. Keep your eye on it. Arkansas State line is moving back down to 10. GJ Hardy says, anything for the World Juniors. I will cap the World Juniors. That's my favorite, one of my favorite tournaments, I should say. I love it. I love to see these young guys that most of them have contracts now in the NHL, have been drafted. So you get a chance to see the up and comers. No, J-Dub, the sun is not out. The sky is gray in Western New York. Justin McCallum says sports money is money. And Nasty Nate says, get out, you Grinches. Shout out to Keith, each every stride. He's got a Charbonnet Udanze touchdown. Udanze. Good luck. Plus 535. This is my man later on. Jamie says, I hate the fucking NBA dudes. Don't even beat. Yeah. I just don't understand how you sign these contracts, these TV networks, these big dollars. Kids going to games wearing jerseys, and these guys just sit out. It don't make any sense. Chris Hal, thanks, man. I wasn't sure what that. I know when I got busted by the hook the other day there, they were only getting 2s. I just couldn't remember how deep it went. Shout out to Robert McCormick. Jay Main says Thursday's definitely his favorite betting day. I agree. Nasty Nate says, I went 3 times over budget on the gifts. Oh, no. I gave Nasty Nate a Christmas present after these Sixers handed the Bulls or the Boston Celtics their ass. Here's one for you guys to write down. I gave it to Nasty Nate for Christmas. Now I'll give it to the rest of you guys. The first quarter under when the Bulls are home. I can't remember if it's 13-3 or 14-3 now. You know I don't like playing them first quarter plays. You know I don't like it. But 13-3 first quarters at home unders. Boston at home, 13-3 in the first quarter. If I say it enough times, you'll remember he said something about this game. And it's Boston at home, first quarter unders, 13-3. now y'all got it. And nobody tell anybody. That's our secret. That's our secret here. It's a late Christmas present from me to all of you guys and girls rocking with us here. Ramon Scott. Running so hot. It's the morning steam. I can't find any source about Loose being out. I know it let me bet it just a little bit ago. So shout out to Philly Eagle Flyer. Shout out to Stop Geoengineering. Hope you had a nice Christmas as well, my friend. Dana Delp here rocking. I hope Dana Delp had a nice Christmas. Irish King. There's Subhuman Gaucho. He gave out the Sub Club Christmas card. He had a nice day today. Hopefully you guys are checking out that community tab, man. Lots of plays out there. You never know. Peruse. You know we got cappers that focus on all kinds of sports, all kinds of plays, all kinds of angles. I'll tell you this. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's out. That guy. Yeah. Giannis. He's out. Red Beans in the house. Metcalf Swift touchdown. Bears W. No, that's not get down. Get down. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Ramon says the Bulls injury report from 15 minutes ago showed Giddey out, Dosamu out. Guys with these last names. Boozy. He's out too. Booz is not listed though. And Nasty Nate says all the props are taken off his board. I love that we're all looking to hammer this dude. I told you it's automatic. For me, it's automatic. Player threes. I still show him in there. I still show him in. It's juicy. It's juicy. We'll wait to fact check. Let me see. Let me look over here. Lillard is out. Yeah, I see Dosamu's out. Probably not saying that name right. I'm sure of it. I stopped caring a long time ago for anybody that does care. We talked to our one ring announcer buddy and said, how do you get all these names right? And he's like, man, I got the privilege of getting to speak to these guys before the fights. So, of course, I'm going to get it right. Not me. It's hard enough to get winners. I see Jimmy Butler will be out tonight for the Heat. Jordan Clarkson will be out for the Jazz. Keontae George. I don't see it yet. Now, if you're one of those guys that said he's out and he plays, you're not allowed to make the play. That's the rule. You're not allowed to make the play. That's the way it goes. Sorry. Look at this. Stop Geo. Magic, 22 wins in a row as a home favorite versus the East, huh? Unhealthy enough to break that streak tonight. Then again, MIA, Miami, no Jimmy, yeah? Shout out to AOD in the house. All right. Look, you guys know the deal. When we get to Thursday, sadly, it'll be our guy, Mega to Max, last Thursday. But we'll keep it a little more informal here. Kind of kick it around the horn and talk about some games. Yes, there will be a live stream tonight. They ended up 7:45. The tag team, the dynamic duo between Razor Sharp Picks and Sports Money will be assembled live and ready to roll with you guys. Dana Tubb says Rutgers plus 9.5. I like Rutgers in this game. I liked all the dogs today. Just so you guys are all, there's my spoiler alert for this game that we're going to talk about here. Let's talk about it now that I gave it out. Now that I shared it with you guys. Look, I think there's a couple things going on here. One, In what fucking planet would you go out there and lay 10.5 with ACC and or AAC and MAC schools? Arkansas State and Bowling Green are both coming out of this thing. They're 7-5. We look at the cash flow and the splits. And I'm going to tell you, yeah, there's a lot of money coming in on Ark State. Here's where this is a little bit, we talked the other day about the art and science, right? The science will tell you, yeah, 67% of the bets and 76% of the cash are on Bowling Green. The line shot from 7.5 to 10.5. But you have to apply a little art to it as well. You want to lay 10.5 points with a MAC school that kind of ran out of gas when it came to the big lights, the bright lights, and the opportunity to go to the MAC championship game, represent the school, and maybe get a playoff bowl bid? Now, why would this number be swelling like this for Bowling Green? Because everybody, their brother, their mother, their sister, their cousin, their cats, their dogs, their fucking gerbils, all know about Fannin and what Fannin needs to do. We'll talk about how I think that applies to the game plan. 48.5 is the total. It's moved to 53.5. We have 61% of the bets and 84% of the cash on the over. And let's move those 5 points. Wide open. Wide open is pick. Now that should do it, right? It's not sudden death, is it after that? I can't recall. Don't kick the one. I'd be happy to take the push instead of the loss, but anyways, I digress. We look at these two teams. Obviously, we've got mediocre talent across the board. Arkansas State, as I mentioned, 7-5. Bowling Green sitting at 7-5. The big move, in my opinion, comes into this situation where Bowling Green comes off that loss to Miami, Ohio. 28-12. And didn't look competitive. It wasn't even that competitive. They had a big winning streak going in there, but again, you can only play the teams in your conference. This Toledo team, they did torch them 41-26, so we can see what Toledo's doing when they line up against the other inferior opponents. But what tells you that you should be laying 10.5 with Bowling Green? It's my estimation. It's the public that knows Fannin needs 11 receptions to go out there and set the all-time tight end record. Now, he is the first tight end in the history of college football to win a conference player of the year. It's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. And what a better spot to do it than against the suspect Arkansas State defense. But I'm not bought in. Look, we got both these coaches. We got Butch Jones coaching on the Arkansas State side. 4 years in, he's got himself a winning record, finally. He's in the rebuild mode. But then counter to that, on the other side, Scott Loeffler, he's in another situation where he had to rebuild this team. First winning season. In fact, they had winless seasons quite a few times in this guy's career. But at the end of the year, three seasons with 3 or fewer wins under his belt, and they're finally back into the spot where, they can maybe take that next step up in a conference like the MAC. Okay, I get it. Then you look on the other side of things here, and you look at some of the transfers. Well, Terrion Stewart is the leading rusher for Bowling Green. He's transfer portal. He's going to Virginia Tech. He's going to suit up. To me, I think that creates dissension in the ranks. To me, we start looking at picking this locker room apart. So we look at these coaches. Yeah, one's on a good season. Oh, man, Toledo touchdown. This game's going to get to 100. We start looking at, actually 2 points. I'm sorry, 2 points. We start looking at these players, though, and when you're choosing to leave the school, what are you telling your teammates? They're not good enough. You're better. You want something better for yourself, and you're leaving them behind, but you're going to stick around. I'm going to give you guys one last game. I don't like the way that sets up with chemistry in the locker room. And then from a player perspective, why do I think it's important with the Fannin situation? Because for me, you become one-dimensional. If you're trying to force feed this guy 11, 12, 13 receptions a game. Now, Arkansas State's defense, as I mentioned, is horrible. But they run a pace. 24 seconds of play. They do run the ball, which keeps that offense off the other side of the field. And I think you got dissension in the ranks in the locker room. Average coaches between these two, both of them rebuilding their programs, and 10.5 points is too much. So let's see. Our guest is not quite backstage yet and ready to go, but I'll tell you, 10.5s, 10s. Toledo Cash is one. Toledo Cash is that's a big one. I needed that one to start the day. Let's go. Let's go as I rip apart the MAC. Toledo comes up with a dub against a program like Pittsburgh. Is it over? What's going on? Why are they storming the field? Pittsburgh will try next. It's not over yet. Come on. Get it together. We'll do better for the live stream. I'm curious your guys' thoughts. When it comes to this game, Ramon says, I'm the cheesiest, Drew. Woke up feeling cheesy, coach. Penalty. Oh, penalty. You know the thing is, though? Penalty or not, they're only getting 2 pointers, right? Oh, look, he knocked the guy down and he held him up. It looks like holding, but he was really just helping him up. Oh, man. He's wearing him like his jersey. It's tough when you got money on the line. When you got money on the line, you're trying to watch it. Cheese it overtime rules. First overtime, you can go for 1 or 2 after a touchdown. Second overtime, you have to go for 2 after a touchdown. Third overtime and more, you just get the 2 pointers. That's what's going to keep me in the W. Either way, they're only getting 2. They're not going to cover a 7, even if it was a pick 6 or a pick 2. Still not going to happen. Ramon says Lillard out. Antetokounmpo out. Says the span is hot. Cab's in the house. What up, Daddy Cab? Shout out to Ray Otashi in the house. Good to see you. Thomas Badger says, I liked Jackson Smith, the Jigma, climbed to 74. I need this guy to get out. I'm not going to put the hacks on him in the first quarter, but if he doesn't want to play, that's okay with me. Maybe he can transfer portal his ass out of there. Do they do that in the NFL? Because I could use it. It's big stakes on the line. I want that cash. Shit. 1 game left, One game left. I sat Baltimore's defense for 14 points. I made a move to pick up Miami's defense. Probably got a little too cute with it there. And doesn't matter. All right. Let's roll into the NBA. Let's talk some NBA. I got a pretty nice card, I think, for the NBA here. Let's see where we're going to go to game number 1. Let me see what I got. We might as well talk about this one, right? We'll kind of go a little out of order here. It's okay. We got time. Again, you can find the action over at Betstamp. And I'm going to open her up. We got the Voos over 1.5 threes. And we got the Bulls plus 6. We parlayed. It's a plus 213 opportunity. Yeah, is it a little juicy? Sure. From a Voos perspective, right? But instead of going out there and laying a minus 145 and a minus, I think we're going to see this thing potentially start. I think it's going to get higher. It's going to be 165 and 175s before we see it go 2.5 because his number is 2. He's not popping over that number. He takes a lot of tries. That's what we kind of honed in on him, like right when this first wave started, because all he does is shoot from the perimeter. But he's good to be 2. Remember, we talked about his shooting effectiveness is better than Steph Curry's. Now it's year versus career. It just goes to put in frame or a picture around how this dude has been performing. And we got a 6.5 that's dropped down to 6s with 79% of the bets and 77% of the cash on the Bulls. And yet it's not moving tremendously. Same time, 248.5 the total has dropped 6.5 points with reverse line movement. 66% of the bets and 61% of the cash are on the over. It's come down 6.5 points. Can we figure out why? Well, overall, again, this is one of those situations for the Voos perspective. We're just going to put him in there, right? I can tell you all the reasons again. We can talk about all the trends, all this. We've done that a lot. It gets boring. I don't want to be boring here. But what's the big factor we look for? The highest point total on the board. They are expecting points. Even though it's coming down, they are expecting points. Now, the Bulls do have back-to-back losses. They were right before Christmas. They played Boston, and they got busted up 123-90. That was the second leg of the back-to-back, though. They beat Boston in Boston the game prior. Then they played the Bucks 112-91. Then they go on to the Christmas break. You know, at the end of the day with the Hawks, I don't care that they just came off a win at home against Minnesota. This is the Hawks at home, and that has been the worst transaction, the worst ATS number in NBA over the last 2+ seasons. The Hawks at home. Now you're going to give me the Bulls, who shoot the ball a ton. And all I need to do is have the Bulls get themselves in a nice little position to get some of those three-pointers to go in. Well, how about we talked about how bad the Hawks are at home? The Bulls have 9 wins on the road. They have 13 wins on the season. They love playing on the road. They hate playing in Chicago. Then we look back and we look at how do these guys potentially bounce back? Well, the Dogs, after blowout losses in the NBA, are 57-21. That's where you're buying low. They're a dog, they got busted up. You're buying low because the books have to overcompensate to get people to start putting their eyeballs back on that team that just got shelled by over 25 points. Road Dogs after a home loss, it's a very similar profile. 54-21. What that one tells me the most is you are looking ahead to that road trip. You do know you've got to pack the bags. You got to take the dog to the kennel. You got to make sure that your produce and your things that can rot get thrown out so they don't stink up the house, right? You got to do all that stuff. You got to get the car. You got to take it. You got to get the valet squared away. There's all kinds of things you have to do when you're leaving home to go on the road, especially after you've had a couple of game homestand. And that's what that 54-21 tells me is they bounce back. But the big one for me, you're going to give me 6.5 points when the Bulls have won 5 straight as underdogs against the Hawks. Those are outright wins. This is a situation where teams just don't match up very well against other teams. And I'm going to add boost, and I'm going to take the +6. I'm going to get a +213 number. Yeah, we're rolling. We're rolling. We're punching this thing right in the face. Let's see what you guys have to say. That game's over now, right? Pretty sure that game's over now. Oh. What the fuck's going on with this game? Can we get it over? Oh, the player's short of the goal line. Hold, please. No, he's in. He's not short. He's in. Huh. Okay. Jeez. Way to keep me on the hook for the entire game here. Can't check out of this one. Got to get paid. Well, like I said, I'm getting paid either way, I guess, at this point. I have to mentally adjust that they're only getting 2s, right? Drew Skilosa. Bet K-State when they were down -3.5. Nice number there. Got a great price there. Redbeard likes Toledo with the W. Then there's the flag and the penalties. Maybe not. Yep. Thomas Maggio's laughing. And Drew Skilosa is asking Debbie if he's on K-State. Peter Gracia. Sup, Mike? Sup, Peter? Good to see you, man. You guys are looking at Toledo. Thomas bet Charlotte -4.5 and the Blazers -1.5. Shout out to my guy Smoking Mirrors. Thomas Maggio says Jalen Johnson over rebounds and assists. Touchdown Rutgers. I appreciate you guys keeping me in the know. Let's go. Smokes is 86 watching, only 48 likes. Smash the like button or Joe T's delivering it. Shout out to Ziggy Balls. He leans Hawks against the spread. Jay Main says Capella had 12. And I'll tell you, I liked the Bulls money line with the over now. This thing, I think, bottomed out at 242.5. And now we're starting to see it creep back up to the over and the loose spot as well. So if you wanted to add another leg, if you wanted to change that up a little bit, really go for the bomb, then yeah, I would take a shot at that. But all right, let's go. Yep, hit the like button, please, you guys. Game number 2. What else do we have? I got them in bet stand, but I didn't get. Oh, of course. One of my favorite spots of the night. It's only right we start talking about the Houston Rockets and the New Orleans Pelicanos. We have 60% of the bets and 60% of the cash on the Rockets. The lines come down from 8.5 to 7.5. We have 85% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the over 222.5. That's come down as well to 221.5. So what the heck is going on? Well, 22-9 Rockets, 5-25 Pelicans, Smoothie King Center, home of the beatdown. Is that what's happening here? Overall, we look at this again. The Pelicans loss, and the Rockets win. It could be that simple. Now, this is another road game. Now, they were on the road. 3 of their last 4 before Christmas are the Houston Rockets. And the Pelicans have been sitting at home for back-to-back home loss. I don't think it matters where they are. The last time these teams played, 133-113, Houston busted them up. Here's the thing. That game was in Houston. They were getting 9.5. They're saying that it's only a 2-point function for the Pelicans to go back home with this massive losing streak. I think they got this number all wrong. Overall, and if you want to talk about the revenge factor, you got a road dog comes back in the revenge after a spread win are 5-26. The revenge, they're rested and they're in revenge, but they just covered the spread, which means that you're buying low on the other side of this equation. They just covered the 8.5 points against Denver. 5-26 are those teams in that position. 5-26 for this Houston Rockets team that busted them up prior to that is plenty good for me. Obviously, Zion's out. Ingram's out. The big questions will be Javonte Green and Trey Murphy, and if they can play for the Pelicans. Is that going to be enough to hold you back one way or the other? It shouldn't be. Maybe they're in, and that's why the spread starts to move back a little bit. But hell no. We won't go. Give me the 7.5. It's that simple. I don't want to overcomplicate the spot. The fact that we're catching a little bit better of a number. I mean, typically I'd like to have the reverse line moving in my favor. But yeah, you're taking 2 points off this number and they just walloped them by a 20 patch. It's good enough for me. Check around, price shop, look for some live betting opportunities. Ziggy Ball says there's no way. Yeah, I mean, there's no way. There's none. No way you can win. Now, can the Pelicans cover? Backdoor? Only if the Rockets roll up 25 points on them, and then they're going to be playing to try to keep back in it. Now, I just don't think that's feasible. I don't think that's appropriate with what's going on here in this game overall. It's Rockets for me. It's a full play Rockets opportunity. Not going to over complicate the situation. I told you guys we can be brief here and keep this thing rolling. So get that 7.5 on the Rockets. Let's see. I think I've got one more. Do I have one more? Let me look. I've got 2 more for you guys. Oh, of course. Let's go. Let's talk a little bit about the which one do you want to talk about first? Let's talk about the Detroit Pistons and the Sacramento Kings. Get yourselves ready for a score fest because that's what I think we're in store for with this one. As we look at the way this one popped off, get a guy rolling here. That's 5. 10 p.m. game. Pistons open at 5. They moved to 5.5. I like the Pistons outright. 58% of the bets, 62% of the cash on the Pistons. It's moved to 0.5 point against them. So it's making it a little bit more attractive to bet the Pistons. This total's gone from 224.5 to 226.5. Here we go. 88% of the bets and 89% of the cash on this over. Yeah, you know what? The Christmas break, right? They always say the NBA starts at Christmas time, and then they started to try to change that with the NBA Cup, the championship in Vegas, the early season tournament. But this is when things really do get going for these guys. And the big option here, Jalen Duren, the rebound extraordinaire, is listed as probable. Isaiah Stewart's questionable. Ron Collins, questionable. But Duren should be good to go. Probable. Sabonis is questionable. Devin Carter's out. And so now we look at these two teams and what's going on with them. Well, overall, we've got 4 of the last 5 games have gone over for the Kings. And 4 of the last 4 have gone over for the Pistons. I see our guest backstage. I'll hit you guys with this trend real fast, and then we'll get him in here, and we'll get rolling. How about it? The Detroit Pistons are 8-0 to the over as a road dog. Less than 4 days rest, but it's the margin. The biggest one on the board today is 18 points per game. Also, questionable. I'll tell you what, there's a 268 and 196 spot to the over. It just has to do with teams that, come off of a game with less than an 11-point margin against the spread, and they play in a stadium that has less than 18,500 fans. The over rolls in those spots because it doesn't get loud enough to disrupt their process and their flow of the game, and they go over. And they're going over 70-plus times in advantages. As soon as I say that, it drops. We're not communicating appropriately. But I'm going to take this Detroit Pistons over. I got one more NBA spot for you, and then we'll talk some Thursday night football and get everybody up out of here. And I'm dogging. I'm road dogging here to open this second half calendar up. We got the Jazz open up as 3-point dogs. They're 3.5-point dogs. They got 74% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the Jazz. Then we got a total that's gone from 224.5 to 225. We have 85% of the bets and 87% of the cash. And these two teams are bottom of the barrel. No question about it whatsoever. 7-21 Utah Jazz, 9-20 Portland Trailblazers. And, profile these teams as they head into the break. The Trailblazers went 1-4 in their last 5. Hey, the Jazz went 2-1 in their last 3, 2-3 overall in that 5 stretch. Teams that they beat were the Pistons and the Nets, so there's not too much to get jacked up about. But they've covered their last 3, the Jazz. They've also got 4-1 to the over, the Jazz. The Trailblazers have gone 3-2 to the over. Big issues, though, for the Jazz. There are a shit ton of injuries. And yet this line's only moved a half a point. Jordan Clarkson will be out. John Collins is out. Keontae George is out. Taylor Hendricks is out. Thibul's out, though, on the Trailblazer side. Robert Williams is questionable. And Delano Manton is questionable as well. So we'll see what happens when it comes to the roster with this one. But it doesn't matter to me. This is one of those spots kind of overall where I talked about it before. And, what do I like most about the Jazz? Well, 2 things. One, they're starting to catch some sharp action, allegedly. We'll see if that happens to be the case when we get closer to game time. But this is a big opportunity here. When you look at some of these squads and the way some of these teams perform, look, overall, if the Jazz come off a spread win, that used to be the thing where you faded their asses. Well, you've lost the last 2 times in that situation. And furthermore, Northwest divisional game, the underdogs have shown a slight advantage as well. At the end of the day, it's 2 shit teams. Pick a side. You got to take the points. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not laying those numbers. We just talked about that with Arkansas State game. Talk about it here with this game. Not a way in how I'm going to take the points in my back pocket with what should be a coin flip and probably see this Jazz team come out and win on top. And I can't find my other notes. Can't find. Oh, I know what it was. Hang on. I got it for you. 16-0. If they won the previous meeting by at least 25 on the road, are the dogs. That's the Jazz +3. 16-0, covering by 9 points a game. And then on the other side of things, how do the Trailblazers do? Chauncey Billups and the Trailblazers are 1-17 off a loss if their opponent had more than 13 lead changes in that game where they couldn't just put them away. It was back and forth and they got on top. They emotionally and mentally gassed themselves. And Chauncey Billups is a coach 1-17 when he's with the Blazers in that spot. They're losing by over 12 points a game as well. Should be ugly. Should be good enough for us to take. I think a live dog. I think you could parlay Arkansas State with the Chicago Bulls, with the Utah Jazz, and probably sit there and have yourself a nice night with it. But we're going to go Thursday night football. Hopefully our guy gets his shit together and wants to get back on screen here. I saw him back there. Thomas Maggio says, revenge game blown out the last time. Yeah, I didn't see anything in the world of bounce back revenge spots for either of these teams or rematch spots either for that matter. More to the total. It influences the total to the over. But again, with all these players coming out, I don't know that I would want to jump in on the over in this spot here. Furthermore, if you look at this Trailblazers team, I just kind of mentioned their situation as far as now Christmas factors in here. So we got to wait and kind of see how these guys restart, how they reset. But man, bunch of big road games out there for this Trailblazers team. Traditionally, historically, they're going to take a little deep breath to get themselves going. Let's take a deep breath to get ourselves going. I got our guy backstage. I see him there. We got to just make a quick adjustment bring him in here. Hopefully he had a Merry Christmas. Let's see what we got. Let's bring him on here. There he is, Mickey Mac, Daddy in the house. What's up, C-Mac?
What up, what up?
Living the dream, my friend. We are grinding. We're down to the end of the card. We're going to talk some Thursday night football. I need you to help me be unbiased, non-biased when it comes to the spot, because I do have a fantasy playoff championship on the line, and Smith Najigba is against me. The most popular guy to score a touchdown tonight is the entire planet on the right side, and I'm just stubborn and can't play it. I don't know. But, hey, Arkansas State college football bowl game. Believe you were a big Bowling Green guy this year. Any thoughts on this Arkansas State Bowling Green game?
I was not a Bowling Green guy. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Michael. You just got the wrong guy there. Bowling Green as a dog, yes, they can't lay points like this. They have the better defense. I think they have the better team. But no way. I'm going to lay points here. We've seen these bowl games earlier today with Toledo and the game going on right now. And Arkansas State's bad. Some of the numbers show that they shouldn't be 7-5, flat out, their record. I mean, but for some, their offense, I think, is good enough. It's good enough to keep them in this game. Both these teams pretty good. Arkansas State, basically everyone in. Bowling Green has a few of their better linemen out. Of course, the running back. Most of their defense is there. But every time they start laying doubles, we're seeing this bite back a little bit. It's going a little bit weird. I even see a 9.5 here at Bookmaker finally. I didn't know if it'd move off the 10. But if you got 10.5 with Arkansas State, was the move. Other than awful games, they had 3 or 4 of them. They were in or won games, close games. And one-score games, I think they were 6-0. Touchdown less. I mean, that's what I want to be on a team that's in a tighter game that actually won games. And what separates these two teams? I don't know. Like Bowling Green seems to step up when they play a better team, like they did Texas A&M, some of these other. But when they play down a little bit to their competition, it hasn't worked out for them. So I love it. Arkansas State. Down a little bit.
How about the NBA? Anything that piques your interest in the NBA? I wasn't going to go with the other term.
Yeah, but I don't think we have time. You don't need to hear anything I got going there.
Any best bet? Want to throw one out there? Fire one, rocket ball?
No.
Okay.
I heard your Bulls a little bit. Those 7s are just gone all of a sudden. Yeah, now. They just were there a minute ago, a bunch of places. I think they could hang around against the Hawks. I never want to lay points. And the Hawks have surprised me a little bit. They just had that big game. Who they beat, but they were dogs in that game, won outright. The last game? Sorry, I got it draft ahead.
Sorry, it's let me pull it up.
The last game they had.
Milwaukee.
Damn it, sorry.
They had the back-to-back game against the Celtics, and then they had the Bucks at home.
Yeah, where they won outright. Minnesota, their last game, right before Christmas.
Oh, you're talking the Hawks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Hawks.
Yeah.
Hawks. 117-104. This has been just the shit spot for them. I mean, I heard you hit on it for a while. Bulls are tough to trust, but this matchup's been good for them, and they've been one of these teams that's been better on the road, flat out. They're not the best home team, so I think they are in this, especially with a Hawks team that for the most part, like some of their defensive numbers are better, but I don't trust them. I mean, they're still 15-15 this year. So yeah, I like those points there in that game. I disagree a little bit. Not that I bet that game, this last game you talked about, because I can't lay 3 points with the Blazers. I think if you like Portland a little bit early, but still, it's tough. Jazz missing a bunch. George, Collins is out, right?
Yep.
Clarkson's had the bad foot for a while. He's out.
Been out for he's sometimes.
Yeah, he's been out. Yeah. He's out. Like I talked about, he's had the foot. He's been dealing with that plantar fucking, which is awful.
Sure.
It's just tough with the Blazers to even lay few points. You know what I mean? This used to be a spot when they were better teams, where I'd love to be on them at home at the Rose Garden. But now the Moda Center, since they go up to Portland a lot now, I always go by it, of course. But I kind of like the Blazers. It's just tough. Maybe thinking they can jump on them early. They've been better kind of first half, first quarter as a dog, of course, all year, which that's mostly their position against better teams. We're talking two really bad basketball teams.
All right. Onward and upward. It's a big Thursday night battle. Man, do your eyes deceive you, or is Caleb Williams decidedly that bad? Is it Caleb Williams? Is it the coaching staff? I mean, you look at the numbers. Caleb Williams is on pace to set records for the Chicago Bears in the passing game right now. This line opened at 3.5.
That's crazy.
Moved for 4.5s and 5s. 76% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the Seattle Seahawks side. Decidedly so. 45.5 has dropped to 41.5, despite 76% of the bets and 78% of the cash on the over. Man, C-Mac. Last game was tough. The Bears are tough, right? There's no question about it. What are we going to do? They're fucking lost 9 in a row. They haven't covered in their last 3. They haven't covered in like 4 of their last 5.
Tell me how much you cut you off. Tell me about your over 8 fucking win joke of the Bears, which I told everyone, go bet the under, smile and be happy, cash that ticket where you were raving how much you loved them. Tell everyone about that real quick.
Well, I was also on screen with razor sharp picks, so I was obligated to be the Stephen A of that conversation.
Oh, okay. Now he's the Stephen A. He's got to be opposite.
My defense. Jordan Love's fucking Charmin soft. We've seen him be in and out of that lineup for a while. Now he's stepped up the last couple of games. There's no doubt about it. But the Minnesota Vikings had to turn to Sam Darnold. And then it was the matter of the Lions and just how good are the Lions going to be. So kind of wedged in the middle was this Chicago Bears team. And frankly, did Caleb Williams play as bad as his numbers dictate? I mean, he hasn't thrown an interception in 6 weeks, I think was the number. And at the same time, obviously all the other teams in that division cooked. There's no question about it. I mean, look, the Lions have been fucking world beaters, taking on everybody but the Eagles. And, at the same time, Green Bay beating everybody up. They couldn't beat up the Eagles for what it's worth. Minnesota struggled, big Eagles letdown spot for them as well. Speaking of the Eagles, but here we go. Thursday night football. This is going to be an ugly game. I'm going to tell you this. The number one outcome for the Sharps is the Bears to win, obviously. Does that go without saying? Probably. Why in the world would you be betting on the Seahawks? Last week, I was talking to my brother. We were talking a little bit about he's automatic Giants team total under. Makes a lot of sense. We added in there the Chicago Bears team total under because they're that bad. Now, there was one semblance of glory that they showed out there. It was when they played at Detroit. I think it was that Thanksgiving game. They were getting busted up. They made second half adjustments. We had just talked about the Lions hadn't been getting scored on in the second half. And they almost came out there and lost that game outright to these Bears. Don't tell me that the Bears aren't a fucking factor in this game. Here we got the Seahawks. Now, maybe you will tell me that. But I'll tell you a couple of ways that I opted to play this game. First and foremost, I took the Seahawks in the first half. When we find some of these mismatches on paper, the Lions, hopefully you guys have been just blindly tailing that thing because the Lions just continue to beat the shit out of teams in the first half. This is an edge. Right now, you look at Chicago. Chicago's getting busted up 80-14 in their last half a dozen games in the first half. They're just not finding a way to score. And they're also not taking risk with Caleb Williams. Like, they really believe in this guy as the future, or at least the perception is that. And they don't want him to throw stats. They don't want to get in his head. But they're not covering spreads. I like a lot the Seattle team total over 21.5. Parlay with the Chicago team total under 21.5. But I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to get on the Bears or not. Full disclosure. And I can't tell if it's my needing Smith-Njigba to completely eat a pile of dog shit. That could be. Now, from a running back perspective, Charbonnet is the guy. They're going to put your boy on ice out there. And that probably makes sense. I mean, it's a longer list of who's hurting these sides. But Kenneth Walker will officially be out for this game. That's probably the big early.
I mean, it seems too easy. Like, that's just the play to me here. Bears can't stop the run. I mean, and I know it's moved up a little bit, but anything under 70, I think he gets. Are you right?
how could he not, right? I mean, that was supposed at 67.5 or 68.5, I think.
It's moved, though. I think it's up now, but that's where it was, yeah, a couple hours ago. I think it's up to like 70. I don't exactly, but
I'll tell you what, another spot that I made out there. I did a Charbonnet touchdown parlay with Moore. Why Moore? Because he's just been a reception machine. He's been a target machine for
Bears?
Yeah, the Chicago Bears team.
That's better for them to actually be down in this game because I don't want anything to do with him. That's what's made him better the last few weeks. Like when even the Lions game, they're down by 20 or so. They just have to throw it. So that's what made me pump off because if it is a tight game, like Odunze and Moore, I'd be on the under. But if they're going to get waxed, they're just going to be from behind throwing it. So I think you look live to actually take that. That's why I couldn't move on that. Because if they're getting their ass kicked, that happens. But if it's a tight game, the numbers haven't been good all year. Odunze has 700 yards, 7-something. I think he's had like 2 big games. Other than that, he's been right under this 40-yard mark that they have him tonight. So Charbonnet, I get.
I can tell you guys from a touchdown perspective, just giving some information that's out there here. I think I saved it. The 5 most bet touchdown scorers, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now think about this. This guy's number 1 bet overall. He's a plus 195. That's a red flag to me. Charbonnet rolls in number 2. Lots of love coming in for Keenan Allen. That would be devastating if he's the guy that gets it and it's not DJ Moore. But DJ Moore's got touchdowns in 4 of his last 6 games against NFC opponents. To your point, they're back. They're down. Just find this guy because he gets 11 plus targets a game. DK Metcalf is a plus 220. And then DeAndre Swift brings in number 5 in the top 5 most bet anytime touchdown props at plus 165. How about Caleb Williams, though, man? I'll tell you what. I'm going to get in on the Bears. I said it here. I said it live. Caleb Williams got 225 plus rushing and passing yards in 4 of his last 6 games. They take the leash off this dude and let him eat. Can he at least keep it within the 5? Or am I going to just get ridiculed publicly on a live stream tonight?
I don't know. I'm not. My money's not going to be on it at all. There. Yeah, no. Smith-Njigba. He's just been the guy. Look, I have a ton of money, but I had Metcalf's touchdown at plus 200 the other day, but his yards fell short, and I think he might have it at 50 before half because I thought it was light at. I think he was right around 62 or 3 that I had, and Seahawks blew that game. And what people are looking at this too, Mikey, this game, Bears have been awful on the road. Still haven't won a game. They've been better at home, of course, where they played a little bit more early on because they've lost 9 straight. But Seattle just all of a sudden, the home crowd, 12th man, has not been good. They've just been better road team flat out. 5-1 on the road. And this line is moving up. It's just, what do we make of the Bears? It seems like a perfect, like this game could be close. I mean, Seattle could win, but I can't back the Bears. I will not do it. So
the 2 biggest book needs tonight are the Bears to win and the Miami Heat to win tonight. Or I should say their bigger betting interest in those 2 spots to come through tonight. Sharp plays identified as sharp players betting in on the Bears, Toledo, Rutgers, and the Heat. So despite the book benefits, it's that cash that's coming in there, showing them the sharper bettors have them in their sights. I think I'm going to get in there. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on this squad. I think I have to. I hate to say that.
Why don't you just wait live? You already said you're taking Seattle first half.
Because I'm a fucking degenerate.
You're gonna take Seattle first half, and then why don't you wait though to get a better number?
Well, it sounds like you're talking me into the under, which isn't that hard to sell for me because I was looking to the under in the first place here. I
just think it's a little low. I like it. I mean,
like after they score,
I think it's a little light.
After they pop a touchdown out there, you can pick it up at like 9 or 10 points, and that might be the difference in enough to be able to get that cash. I hear you.
Yeah, I think that's the way to roll.
I was going to look for that double chance too. See, Seattle wins the first half, and then the Bears come back and win the game. That seems like that would be a fun one. I heard earlier today it was plus 8. I think it was 850, plus 850 for no touchdown in the first half for the Chicago Bears as well. So there's a couple ways to get creative if you're going to try to attack this game. I gotta look into it a little bit more. I do know they have the live touchdown scorer profit on DK. So I'll probably look to DJ more for that one. I think that's some sound advice to get involved with there. But I'm just officially on the first half right now. I've got the -2.5 for the first half in the Seahawks. And again, just playing the differentials. The scoring differential shows that the Bears just take a while to get going. And then I use that Detroit game as the blueprint or the prototype. They make adjustments at halftime. They loosen the reins up just a little bit on Caleb Williams, and he goes out there and he finds a way to put points on the board. So I think long-term the Bears are live. I think you're right. Maybe I'll look to get that live bet spot in there. I can only imagine the ridicule I'll get from our friend Razor Sharp Picks. Get on the Bears!
Yeah.
On the Bears! I can hear it. You can't hear it?
All right, Chase Brown, 3 for 53. Just need 5 more yards. I think we can get that, Mikey, in this K-State game.
Let's go. I need this Rutgers spot. I should have just taken Rutgers outright. Rutgers has won. I know it's dated, but they win in bowl games. They win outright. I think they're like 4 of their last 5 in bowl games or something like that. Granted, it's been some time, but Rutgers hopefully stays the right side of this thing as we get closer to halftime. C-Mac, we're going to put the bow on the show, my friend. We are at the point where it's time to shut her down and get ready to start her back up with the dual live stream tonight. Hopefully we see it. But I think it's bittersweet. I got to say adieu, my friend. I know you gave us one more here. Maybe we get one more, but you're always welcome on Thursday. Tell us what's going on. Tell them what's going to have you occupied on Thursdays as we move forward in 2025.
Yeah, I always love coming on with you, Mikey. But yeah, college basketball, this is ending. Bowl games, college basketball will be full swing. So on Hitting the Books, we will have college basketball on Thursdays, 5 Eastern. So I will be there. And that's about it. Go to Hitting the Books. Check out all the games we have left. Bunch of games tomorrow, right? There's a slew of them in the next few days. Then we're getting down to the nitty gritty. So that's it. Full swing college basketball. And that is it. Let's get to the game tonight.
Let's go. Let's have some fun. Let's get this money. Hopefully we'll see you a little bit later on here. If you're welcome to join us if you are free. I know you're a busy man. Your time is of priority, and it should be. You deserve it. You do a lot for everybody and helping the people make some cash. We wish you the best of luck with the college basketball shows and everything else that you do, but you always have a seat here ready to roll. And I always just appreciate you taking the time to come on, hang out with us, chop it up, talk some games, share some player props. You've been extraordinary with your player props and your sides too. So appreciate you, my friend. Thank you from all of us.
Shout out to the chat. Appreciate everybody here. I won't be far. So Thursdays were great. It's on. New year, baby.
Let's
go.
New
year, Mikey. You're glowing. You're like in a full fucking white there. Your ring light or whatever you got pumping there, man. You're like a halo or something. Some bullshit there.
I put the green screen up. I put the green screen up to do the ninja background. Anyhow, it's a lighting thing because my light bulbs were built for non-green screen, and now I got to go get new light bulbs to change it over and adjust that. When they say is it natural light or whatever. So away we go, you guys. Thanks everybody for rocking with us. Thank you guys in the chat for coming back here today to rock. Let's make this cash. Let's get this money, and let's get after it live here with you guys. 7:45.
All right, so am I.
Get back in. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, C-Mac. Behalf of Sports Money, appreciate all you guys and girls in the chat. Good luck with your bets tonight, and we'll see you back at 7:45 for more action. See you soon. Appreciate everybody.